Getting clear on the transmission. Previously, we discussed that teaching is a transmission process. To be a great teacher, you have to figure out how to improve every part of your communication system. In the dream stage of product development, you go through exercises to visualize what your finished course will look like, and you begin the creative process. My analogy of a transmission comes from a mechanical system, that of a radio station transmitting sound to a radio receiver. You are not a machine. Receiving the transmission isn't as simple as tuning a dial to the right channel. But to continue the metaphor, one of the things that commonly happens as you start trying to work on a creative project is that when you do try to tune in, you get a lot of static. Too many ideas, lack of structure, things that feel right in your head but don't make any sense when you try to put them together. In this lesson, you'll learn some tricks to turn yourself into a lightning rod for inspiration. Some of these tricks may work for you, some may not. Use these as a jumping off point to develop a system that works for you. Even though you are entering into an organic process, you still need to commit to a deadline for releasing your course. This process keeps you focused on getting work done and at the same time open up to new possibilities. Lots of the exercises in this section are designed to simultaneously keep you busy and moving forward while helping you to navigate and synthesize new ideas. During this early stage of dreaming, you'll go through some exercises to help you get clear on why you're making the course. Being able to state your motivations succinctly will help you to do the work necessary to complete your course. Once you understand your motivation, you then will be asked a series of specific questions that will help you to set boundaries on your creative process. Your deadlines, what technology you feel confident using, how skillful your learners are. From this work, not only will you be able to explain what you are creating, you will also know for yourself what you are not creating. Deciding on what you are not creating focuses your mind. It reduces the static of too many ideas. Just as part of defining your business is chiseling away the things that you are not doing, determining who you are not serving and the activities that you do not provide, figuring out what you are not creating helps you to put boundaries on your work. Once you decide, this is what I am not doing, it's a lot easier to put those distractions aside as they pop up. You can still take notes on those ideas for future courses, but you don't need to give them any more attention than that. Create a single folder for all your course files. You probably have some fun ideas about the name of your course, but you don't know yet whether the name communicates with your learners. So instead of giving your folder a razzle-dazzle name it something simple, like if you're creating a course on how to make a peanut butter sandwich, you might have in your mind the title, Make the Best Peanut Butter Sandwich of Your Life. But don't name the folder that. Instead, name the folder Peanut Butter Sandwich Course. This gives you the freedom to change the title as many times as you like, while still being able to find the files you are working on. Create a new folder inside of your project folder called Resources. This is where you will store all your notes and materials you are using as a starting point for your course. Previously, we discussed how important it is to take notes. When you start working on your course, grab those notepads and your electronic notes. Drag or duplicate all the relevant notes into the Resources folder. Snap photos of written notes and place them into the Resources folder as well. Also look through your computer for any previous presentations, handouts, or spreadsheets that you think you might repurpose in this course. If you have materials in a notes application or on the web, such as blog posts, create a document with links to those online notes. If you have them, also include comments that previous learners had on earlier versions of this course or related courses. If you are using an online notes system, you can create a notebook, folder, or tag to aggregate your notes in that system. Now go back through your notes and ideas. Organize them, make notes and comments, read them out loud. Do whatever helps you to engage with them. Likely a lot of your ideas are more like bullet points that trigger you to remember ideas that you've had going around in your head for a while than fully fleshed out thoughts, or which remind you of things that you say when you explain the concepts to others. The purpose of this activity is to refresh your mind of all these fragments of ideas you've been collecting for a while. While you're reviewing those, rough out a high-level outline of your course. It's not the final outline because you have more work to do to get that clear. Still, without having done that work, you probably already have a sense of the topics you want to cover and in what order. Now you are going to become a spy. Sleuth out other people's courses, books, and websites to get ideas. You can even buy a few courses or books and write them off your taxes as company expenses. You're not going to steal their ideas. Use these examples to get inspiration about how to present your own material. Going through others' materials will help you remember some basic concepts you might have forgotten that you need to teach. Think about how you can add a different point of view to how these other teachers are going about it. Look at comments and discussions online to see what kinds of questions people have or common points of confusion. These comments will help you remember what it was like to be a learner yourself. They also will help you understand how your field has evolved since you were first learning. It's good to have some people to bounce ideas off of. I recommend that you gather at least 3 people that will agree to support you as you create your course. You will need one person who can provide technical expertise. This person should be knowledgeable of your field. They can make sure that everything you say is technically accurate, that you are using terms correctly and reflecting the most current research and thoughts in your field. This person may not be someone you normally would spend a lot of time around, but they are someone you respect, who will provide at least a couple of hours of their time. You also need a peer, someone with a similar background to you. This person should be more of a friend. This person should have a good understanding of your ideas and help you to give you another perspective on what you are wanting to communicate. You will depend upon this person off and on through the creation process. Finally, you will need at least one person who is like your learner, preferably 2 or 3. You need this person or persons at the start of your project to give you an hour of their time. They will ask naive questions that you had not considered needing to answer. It's also useful if they can look at the final material and give you a first impression. Now you want to test out your idea with your peer and your alpha testers. Use your rough outline as a jumping off point to communicate your ideas. I don't recommend asking them to read your outline. Instead, have it in front of you and talk them through it. With your words, paint a picture of what you envision the final version will look like. When I ask for feedback, I always sense the hesitancy that my friends have with sharing their honest feelings with me. You must explicitly show an openness to taking their criticism as constructive advice. Tell them that you want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly, and also engage in a way that shows you can take it. Explain that if they are having these concerns, there are going to be people who won't tell you, and then you won't know how you can make your course better. You probably have a few pet ideas that you are especially excited about. These ideas might make more sense to you than to anyone else, so be open to change, even if it feels disappointing. Their questions will help to see what's missing, what needs more explanation, and what is too advanced for this current course. They will also help you think about how you can best deliver those ideas: a book, video, audio recordings, or handouts. If you're talking to someone who is like a learner, watch and listen for what excites them and what confuses them. If they're excited, these are the ideas you want to build on. And if they appear confused, your explanation either needs more refinement or it's just not a good way to communicate. You don't need a clear plan to go ahead and get started on your course. Create anything you know for certain you will need. For example, in a peanut butter and sandwich making course, you know that you will need to provide a handout with a list of ingredients and tools, so you can go ahead and start working on that. This will help you feel productive, it will help you focus on your course materials, and you can go ahead and get some work completed. I once had a session with a therapist where I cried so much I went through an entire box of tissue. Then she gave me some surprising advice. She told me, watch more TV. She told me that my unconscious mind was healing, and I needed to keep my conscious mind occupied while my unconscious did its work. Working on a course makes you obsessive, and being wound up inside all of your own ideas is not a useful way to receive inspiration. Now that you have put all your ideas collected into your conscious mind, slide them to your mental back burner and let them stew. Distract yourself. Try not to hassle yourself if you don't feel you are being productive. Trust that inspiration will strike when you least expect it. Since you are an organic receiver, Get away from the computer and out into nature. Get into your body, exercise, rest, enjoy your friends, and sure, watch more TV, waste time, take your focus away from the project in whatever way you can. Trust that if you turn your conscious attention away, your unconscious is still busy at work for you. It's not a matter of if lightning will strike, but when, because you have now turned yourself into a lightning rod. Once inspiration strikes, you need to write it down so you don't forget anything. Be prepared for inspiration to come fast and hard. Have a notebook handy everywhere you go. Slide one in your purse, your backpack, your pocket, your car. Make sure you have pens at the ready. Make sure you know how to use your Notes app so you aren't trying to figure out how to log in when you are needing to be recording. When you start getting inspired, stop everything and start dumping all the ideas out of your head and onto paper or into a device as fast as you can. This is important. This is the good stuff. Receive, receive, receive. Any midwife will tell you that a lot of moms go into labor in the middle of the night. So it is with good ideas. Transmission is going to happen when you're about to fall asleep or waking from a dream. Have whatever you need to record your ideas at your bedside. Even if you are this close to falling asleep, wake up and write down your transmission as fast as you can, because you will forget it if you do not. Nighttime is a good time to make use of the speech-to-text feature on a Notes app. That way you don't need to turn on the light. It can be scary to trust the process of receiving inspiration, but I have faith that something good is coming from you.